Today is July 30th. The one I prepared was Mark 13, which when I opened to it and picked it, I was really surprised because this is the same one we did in Matthew last week. And it's Jesus foretells the future. And I sat there for a second and I was thinking to myself whether or not I should do a different one, if I should pick a different one. Sat there for a couple minutes wondering if I should pick a different one, and this is out of 1189 chapters. We're only 4 into this book, and this is the one I picked, and that's how it's been happening as I've read it all these multiple times. And what you'll see these are different points of views from the apostles for the same situation that Jesus was walking on the earth. Okay, so what we have is the teachings of Jesus Christ, the sign before the return of Jesus Christ, the birthing pains, which we'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. Don't let anyone lead you astray. Not one stone will be left upon another. And the appointed time. This is the appointed time. Those who endure till the end will be saved and counted as righteous. The good news will be preached all over the world. The Holy Spirit is speaking through me. The days of calamity shortened for the sake of God's chosen ones. Watch for the return of Jesus Christ. Now is the time. The sun and the moon and the stars, the revealing of Jesus Christ, the return of Jesus Christ, the righteous branch, a lesson from the fig tree, and one of my favorites, this generation will not pass from the scene until all these events take place. Mark 13, Jesus foretells the future. As Jesus was leaving the temple that day, one of his disciples said, "Teacher, look at these tremendous buildings. Look at the massive stones in the walls." Jesus replied, "These magnificent buildings will be so completely demolished that not one stone will be left on top of another." Later, Jesus sat on the slopes of the Mount of Olives across the valley from the temple. Peter, James, John, and Andrew came to him privately and asked him, "When will all this take place, and will there be a sign ahead of time to show us when all this will be fulfilled?" Jesus replied, "Don't let anyone mislead you, because many will come in my name, claiming to be the Messiah. They will lead many astray, and wars will break out near and far. But don't panic. Yes, these things must come, but the end won't follow immediately. Nations and kingdoms will proclaim war against each other, and there will be earthquakes in many parts of the world, and famines. But all this will be only the beginning of the horrors to come." Now that should actually say the beginning of the labor pains, because the labor pains, the labor pains are a series of judgments, revelations that we're living right now, that we're going to see all over the world. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be at war, everybody's going to have famine, or everybody's going to have disease. It means that certain parts of the world are going to have war. Certain parts of the earth are going to have famine. Certain parts of the earth are going to have disease. And it says in parts of the Bible, it says about the earth, about the heavens coming to the earth, it says that the people weren't, how do I say this properly? The heavens weren't birthed in one day. Okay, meaning that it's over time. But when these things begin to happen, watch out. You will be handed over to the courts and beaten in the synagogues. You will be accused before governors and kings of being my followers. This will be your opportunity to tell them about me. And the good news must first be preached to every nation. But when you are arrested and stand trial, don't worry about what to say in your defense. Just say what God tells you to. And then it is Not you who will be speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Brother will betray brother to death, fathers will betray their own children, and children will rise against their parents and cause them to be killed. And everyone will hate you because of your allegiance to me. But those who endure to the end will be saved. The time will come when you will see the sacrilegious object that causes desecration standing where it should not be. Reader, pay attention. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. A person outside the house must not go back into the house to pack. A person in the field must not return even to get a coat. How terrible it will be for a pregnant woman and for mothers nursing their babies in those days. And pray that your fight will not be in winter, for those will be days of greater horror than at any time since God created the world. And it will never happen again. In fact, unless the Lord shortens that time of calamity, the entire human race will be destroyed. But for the sake of his chosen ones, he has shortened those days. And then if anyone tells you, look, here is the Messiah, or there he is, don't pay any attention. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform miraculous signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones. Watch out, I have warned you. At that time, after those horrible days end, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then everyone will see the Son of Man arrive on the clouds with great power and glory. And he will send forth his angels to gather together his chosen ones from all over the world, from the farthest ends of the earth and heaven. Now learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its buds become tender and its leaves begin to sprout, you know without being told that summer is near. Just so, when you see the events I've described beginning to happen, you can be sure that his return is very near, right at the door. I assure you, this generation will not pass from the scene until all these events have taken place. Heaven and earth will disappear, but my words will remain forever. However, no one knows that the day or hour when these things will happen, not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself. Only the Father knows. And since you don't know when they will happen, stay alert and keep watch. The coming of the Son of Man can be compared with that of a man who left home to go on a trip. He gave each of his employees instructions about the work they were to do, and he told the gatekeepers to watch for his return. So keep a sharp lookout, for you do not know when the homeowner will return at evening, midnight, early dawn, or late daybreak. Don't let him find you sleeping when he arrives without warning. What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch for his return.